I ask unanimous consent to accept my motion to censure Representative Clay Higgins for violating Rule 9 by bringing discredit and disgrace to the House of Representatives.
Well, first of all, the tweet has been deleted already and removed.
So right there you saw Representative Steve Scalise giving, I think, a pretty weak defense of Clay Higgins for a tweet that we're gonna read for you. Right there, that earlier Democrat Stephen Horsford was like announcing a censure resolution against Clay Higgins for a tweet. And Scalise's defense of him is, well, it was deleted. And as you'll find out, however weak of a defense you might think that is, it's worse than that because we've got updates.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
Here is the tweet that caused all of this trouble for Clay Higgins and for all of us, I guess, since we now have to deal with this. He put out this, lol, these Haitians are wild, eating pets, voodoo, nastiest country in the Western Hemisphere, cults, slapstick gangsters, but damned if they don't feel all sophisticated now, filing charges against our president and VP. All these thugs better get their mind right and their ass out of our country before January 20th. So there he is referencing explicitly this, a Haitian NGO filing criminal charges against Trump and Vance for spreading the lies of the pet eating, which Clay Higgins also did in that exact tweet. He's also referencing fully legal Haitian migrants in Springfield doing very necessary work that he is implying should all get out of the country. Presumably, I guess all Haitians, because these Haitians are wild after all, I guess they should go. And so the tweet was eventually deleted, but Higgins was pretty defiant about doing that initially. Some Democrats apparently went to him and said that it's disgusting and inappropriate and you need to take it down, to which he had said, I'm not taking it down. I don't respond to threats. It's not really a threat, but he did eventually take it down. And it wasn't necessarily the Democrats that got him to do that. Apparently some Republicans did actually talk to him, to their credit, I guess, regardless of what their motivation for having him take it down might be. And there are various interpretations of that. But one of those Republicans was Byron Donalds, who apparently grew up in an area with a large Haitian population. And he is not gonna stand for a Republican like Clay Higgins saying racist things against these migrants. It's like generally his shtick actually to be doing that. And he doesn't like Clay Higgins getting in on the action, I guess. But anyway, I do want to let you all know that while Mike Johnson tries to pitch the deleting of the tweet as like a sign of growth or maturity, I don't think that's what's happening. But here's what Mike Johnson had to say. He said that Higgins is a dear friend and a frank and outspoken person, which in this context just means a-hole. But anyway, Johnson said that after Higgins was confronted on the floor, he went to the back of the chamber and quote, prayed about it. And he regretted it and he pulled the post down. That's what you want a gentleman to do. I'm sure he probably regrets some of the language he used, but we move forward. We believe in redemption around here. Here is what Higgins went on to say. It's all true. He means the content of the tweet. It's all true. I can put up another controversial post tomorrow if you want me to. I mean, we do have freedom of speech. I'll say what I want. It's not a big deal to me. It's like something stuck to the bottom of my boot. Just scrape it off and move on with my life, which is generally how you talk about something that you prayed over and wanted redemption for, I think, Michael. What do you make of this? Are you more familiar with Clay Higgins as a man?
I am familiar with Clay Higgins. I've met and interviewed Clay Higgins on something having nothing to do with this a few years ago, right after he was elected. I think he was elected in 2018, so just after that. He first of all, if you are going to get yourself in trouble, it's good to be from Louisiana because you have a speaker from Louisiana and you have a majority whip from Louisiana in Scalise and Johnson. So having them come to your aid and protection, not a bad thing. Clay Higgins is he's really about as conservative and far right as anybody in Congress can be. He's below the radar because he's not a major, player. He's not part of leadership or anything. He's on the Freedom Caucus. He's somebody who endorses the use of firearms when it comes to political conflict. He has repeatedly gotten himself in trouble with the ACLU. He's very, very outspoken on conservative causes. It's not surprising. His photograph for a while in the congressional Facebook had him dressed up in his police officer with the cowboy hat police officer garb. That's who Clay Higgins is. This ugly rhetoric is, I don't know what preying on it does, but he did take it down, and that does not change anything about Clay Higgins and the sentiments he shared and, why Donald Trump endorsed him in 2018. He is somebody who says these sorts of things, and he threatens. There's a threat in there that I keep thinking gets overlooked, which is that it'll all change on January 20th. I mean, those are ominous words, forgetting all ugly words he said. What it implies is going to happen and what a Congress would do and what people like the Clay Higginses in the Capitol would be free to do. It changes things a lot. That one little turn of phrase there was really bothersome.
You're 100% right. I glossed over it because of all of the racism. I missed it because, some might think, well, what would happen to migrants? First of all, again, legal migrants. I know that doesn't matter anymore. Every legal migrant, I guess, also now at rallies, they're chanting for them to get out of the country.
Well, right, but
except for the wives of the president and VP nominee, of course. They can stay, I guess.
But John, when you're standing in line talking to these people, they all say, well, I'm in favor of legal immigration. You got to do it the right way. And then
until they start chanting.
When I go back out, that's a conversation I'm going to have with some of these people.
I hope so. But so some people might think, well, they'll deport them. Well, but it says you better get out of the country before it. The threat being that we're going to remove you doesn't make sense if the way that you avoid that is to get out earlier. The threat has to be worse than that. Yeah. So what is it? I think you're 100% right. And again, the open, explicit use of racism with seemingly no breaks whatsoever has been way too normalized over the past few years. But the open violent language and threats has just become so utterly common and disgusting. I don't think he learned anything. I don't think he prayed about it. I wouldn't care if he did, but I also don't think that he did. And so it's absolutely gross. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.